Okay, midweek update. So what do we got going on? What's done? Well, it's back in primer again, all one color once again. A couple of issues to deal with, a couple of pinholes that I didn't see. What's nice about a solid primer is you see every little mistake, everything. So there's a lot of things that look really good, and then there's a couple of things that stood out to me that still need, or that need to be fixed. So just a handful of pinholes. So I'll do some spot sanding on that, and I'll get that taken care of. But here we go. Here's what it looks like right now. So back in primer, everything's looking pretty good and even. So some of the issues that I had last time, I was able to pretty much get resolved this time around. The gun with that 2K primer, it wants to gum up my gun really, really fast. And I think part of that is because the turbine sprayer heats up the air as it's sending it through. So I added a little more reducer, and that absolutely helped. And then I did it in smaller batches, and then cleaned my gun out in between. So did the doors, hood and trunk, one pass, and then I took the nozzle off, cleaned it out because it was all gummed up already by that point. And so even by the time I was wrapping up the hood here, actually this is really smooth. I think it was on the trunk here. There was a couple spots where it spit out. It was starting to spit out a couple things. I was like, okay, we're wrapping up. We're getting finished here. I don't know if we can, there we go, you can see it. And so it did that a couple of times. So that was my indicator before my spray was even shrinking up that I needed to clean that out. So got that cleaned out, taken care of, did a second pass on this, and then went and created another batch, pulled the gun up completely apart and cleaned it before I did the body. And still had some issues with, in fact, you can kind of see it a little bit here. On this one, where it was spraying just a little gritty in places, and that was typically kind of a combination of I was a little too far away, the gun was already starting to gum up a little bit, and yeah, anyway, turbine sprayers are not the easiest to work with. I've used regular guns before on other projects, and that was a lot easier. And I'm also hoping that the paint and the clear will go better than this 2K stuff. It's so thick, even with a 1.8, it just wants to gum up that gun super, super fast. So anyway, that's where we're at. We'll do some spot sanding and filling, clean that up, do some spot, run some primer over those spots, and then the day we'll paint, we'll sand it down, the whole thing down, and then we'll get it in color. So not sure when that'll be, maybe this weekend, maybe next, but that's where we're at.